Yes, guys, how's everyone doing? Look, it's okay to demand more from Spurs. It really is, guys. It really is after the end of the transfer window. And look, what I've been seeing on social media online, people are unhappy, fans are unhappy with the fans, or probably vice versa, to be honest, um, who are not happy with this transfer window. And don't think the club have done enough to support Frank and the team this season. I'm one of them. I think we could have done more. I'm happy with the four signings, of course, but there are some gaps in that side which concern not just me, but many fans. We've got a really tough season ahead, and as a fan, you want the club to go above and beyond to give Frank and the team the best chance of success. And that is, for example, signing a top left winger. That is, signing a left-sided centre back if Van der Ven gets injured. We've only got three fullbacks. Could have done with one more. You know, and after years and years of neglect, squad neglect from the board, I think we're in our rights to demand more. There's definitely money there. You could see how much we spent compared to some of the other top teams in the league, and we're way behind. And as I said, the club talk about ambition. They want to win the league. They want to win the Champions League. They want to win trophies. Then show that ambition by going above and beyond. And I don't think they have. Yes, they've made some good signings. A couple of them were on loan. So there was definitely money there to go and fill those areas of the team that we need. Now, look, you may be happy with the window, and that's fine. You know, each to their own, like I said in my video the other day. But for me, and not just me, many fans, I feel we're always left short. Yeah, we really are. We're left short. And I just think for the fans, calling out the fans for not being happy, some stupid stuff I've seen, really silly stuff I've seen online about it. And look, and I'm sure it's the other way round as well. The fans who are not happy with the transfer when they're calling out the fans who are, it all gets a bit silly, doesn't it, really? But it is what it is with the fan base. We can never all agree, and it is what it is. But look, for me, I will constantly demand more from the board, and I want to see Spurs continue in the next transfer windows, strengthening the first team, buying first team ready players, first team ready made players, transfer window after transfer window. Guys, give us your thoughts, give us your comments. I just felt I had to say something because it did hurt me, to be honest, what I seen online. But hey, it is what it is. So look, the Champions League squad has been announced, and some notable absentees. Kind of the main one, which bringing a bit of a talking point, is Matisse Tell didn't make the squad for the Champions League. Now, look, I mean, we spent what 30 million on him, 10 million loan fee, and he's not involved. I don't understand why the club signed him. I really don't. And it just screams poor squad building, planning, strategy with that signing. Um, and another thing is, I think it's just such a waste of money on a player like that. If you're going to sign him, you've got to at least put him in the squad across all competitions, right? To give him a chance. Frank said he was happy with him, but he failed to make the cut. Look, someone's got to drop out. And, you look at that midfield, and look, who else could have fallen out of that lot? I mean, Wilson possibly, one of either Gray or Bergvall. But look, we are short, especially Basuma's been left out as well. So I think him or Wilson were the only kind of the obvious guys that were going to miss out. But look, this for me again, it's just a massive missed opportunity for Spurs to use that money on Tell on going out to get a top class left winger. Um, we could have, we could have 30 million plus the whatever 70 million we had. We were going to play in Savinio. Could have gone out, got us a really top player in that position, and there wouldn't have been any arguments when kind of the squad decision for the Champions League would have been made, because that top left winger would have been in, and if it was whoever, Tell, Wilson, they would have been left out, wouldn't they? Because you've got to play the best players that you have. So look, yeah, just and for him as well, Tell, and I've not liked the signing. I'm not really excited about the player since last season. I don't think he showed enough. I think for him as a player, it must have been a kick in the teeth to hear the news. He's played in the Champions League before for Bayern Munich, and he probably thought, look, he's in there, he's in that squad. He was, look, he's probably best off signing for someone else, not Tottenham, signing for a team that he was actually going to be able to play most weeks, because there's no room for him, really, is there, in this squad? And Frank doesn't seem to rate him that much. So, guys, give us your thoughts on that one. I just think, again, it just screams of poor squad planning, strategy, whatever. And what a waste of money. What a waste of money. And I just think if Tell doesn't get much game time throughout the season, then he'll probably request to be sold and put in a transfer request. Look, it is what it is. Some people will say that now this will push Tell on to work harder and impress, but I just can't see him playing. I really can't, unless we suffer, big injuries. Because I think, it's going to be for Johnson or Wilson on that left. Maybe it will be Mawani sometimes. I just don't see where Tell's going to fit in. Again, if we get quite serious injuries, he may get more game time. But guys, give us your thoughts on that Champions League squad. Other than that, obviously they left out some injured players in Madison. They left out Dragusin, Kulusevski, who's back kind of November, Basuma. What's gone on there with him? Like, I think they were trying to sell him in the window. Frank doesn't seem too happy with him. They fined him for being late to training and stuff like that. And looks like Basuma's days, they're going to run out at Spurs. So we're relying on Gray, Bergvall as cover for like Bentancur, Paulinho and Sarr. Not the best, but it is what it is. Look, guys, the season we can all be, ultra positive, and that's fine. Many fans are excited. You think some fans think we're gonna, make the Champions League spots. If we do that, that's amazing. I don't think we will. Look, I'm hoping that Frank and this team has a fantastic season, and they kind of surprise me, because I don't think that squad that there's enough there to compete on all four fronts this season. I hope I'm very wrong with my prediction with this, because I want Spurs to do well, and that's why I demand from the board that there's money there, there's gaps in the squad, sign the players, the top players, to really help us this season, and I will just continue to demand, because I'm sick of Spurs not going all out. Yes, it's a better transfer window compared to old, but as I said, and I am worried that that squad can do it. Hope I'm wrong. We will see. Guys, give us your thoughts, give us your comments, and smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. And as always, come on, you Spurs.